All right, so here we are with our series of Global Inspirational Man. Yes, today we are here to have an amazing guest all the way from Singapore. Something about this guest before I introduce him, you can already see him right there with me. A country strategy consultant from a NYSE listed company at present. His first two jobs were that of a paper delivery boy and dishwasher in Melbourne when he was just 17. Yes, guys, when he was just 17-year-old. Through sheer determination, resolve, grit, and confidence, he has been able to play integral roles in strategy and communication at multinational corporations, as well as the privilege to spearhead a few startups and franchise businesses. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together to welcome one and only Joseph Saheb from Singapore. Welcome,
Thank you
Joseph.
so much. Thank you so much, Ruby. I mean, I'm truly honored. It's the thing is, I'm brown, so you can't see me blushing. So, but thank you very much for this lovely introduction. It's such a pleasure, and congratulations on your amazing show. And I've watched a few of your episodes with some of the amazing women that you've had on the show, like Caroline and Rahila, and all the others, and
Mhm.
it was absolutely amazing. So I feel so privileged to be your first guest on the Global Inspirational Man. I don't know whether I'm inspiring or not, but I try and provide value. So, but thank you. Seriously, I mean, jokes apart, really humbled and honored to be on the show. Thanks, Ruby.
No, we are humbled. We are really humbled to have you. And it's amazing. Not just me, there are lots and lots of people who have been seeing the things that you are doing, all the amazing stuff that you're sharing at LinkedIn. It's just wow. So we are
Thank
really
you.
happy to have you and share your story to inspire other people across the globe. So, first and basic question, tell us something
Mhm.
about who actually Joseph is.
Okay, I mean, this is something which a lot of people have asked me, and whenever I say it, they're like, "Nah, that's not you." But no, I mean, seriously, I mean, a lot of people just see, the number of followers that someone has behind their social media accounts, and
Mhm.
that's not who you are, and that's just people who focus on that. That's just vanity metrics, in my opinion.
True.
And
True.
you just need to be true to who you are as a person. So if someone asks me who I am, I'd say that I'm true to my roots. I'm the only child of a single mother who was divorced when I was 2 years old, and she brought me up with my with the help of my maternal grandparents. Born in Calcutta in India, where I spent the first 17 years of my life, and truly grateful for having an amazing mentor in my mom. And that's maybe one of the main reasons as to why I have so much respect for women around me, because she's done it really hard, and a lot of people would be able to perhaps relate to it, especially women
Mhm.
who are single mothers, and especially in I wouldn't say a third world country, but I would say a developing country like India, where
Mhm.
women are still treated as second class citizens, unfortunately. So I mean, it was a struggle, and I've seen that with my very eyes. And I'm truly honored and blessed to have such an amazing role model in my mom. So I mean, I try to be humble in whatever I do, because I think the people won't remember your
Mhm.
titles or the amount of money, or your fame and whatever you have in life. They're going to remember who you are as a person. What have you done to make a difference to people around you? And that is exactly what I like to do. Ideally, I mean, I like to be able to see myself in the mirror,
Mhm.
ideally on a daily basis, at least on a weekly basis, and just reflect and introspect on what has happened during the week. And what I always try to focus on is, like, have I been able to provide even an ounce or an iota of value to someone around me? And that's what makes me tick. I like to provide value. A lot of people ask me, like, what's my end game with LinkedIn? Am I monetizing LinkedIn? No, I'm not, because I've never focused on monetizing LinkedIn. I've always focused on just providing value, just being
Mhm.
myself. It's just about my professional. It's just about my personal brand and my professional brand, of course. But I just like to be myself. Provide value, interact, engage,
Hmm.
and that's what I focus on. So that's me. I mean, in a nutshell. I mean, I'm a simple guy. I mean, I think most men are simple. I mean, we
Hmm.
we all know we're not complicated human beings. I think men are very very simple. You give them food, they're happy. You give them a place to sleep in, they're happy. Simple as that. We don't need too much more. I'd say I'm a pretty simple guy. And yeah, I like to basically wear my emotions and my heart on my sleeve, and just try and do things for others as much as possible.
That's great. That's really a very good message. Be the authentic you. Basically, if you have to be honest, if you have to be the genuine you, people will
Hmm.
automatically follow you. People will automatically think of you as a role model and want to be like you. And as you said, as a mother, as a single child of a mother taking care of you all by herself, of
Hmm.
course you know what she has been through. You
Of
have
course.
been throughout her journey, and you admire her for her courage, for bringing you up, for making you what you are, and I'm sure she's very proud of you. She must
No,
be
that she is.
someone.
That she is. I mean, she
She
she.
must
I
be
mean, she
really.
she believes more in me than I believe in myself. Honestly. So,
That's
I mean,
great.
she's my biggest cheerleader. So, I mean, whenever I'm feeling down, I'm like, I don't know what to do, and she's like, you know what to do. Just be you. That's the main thing. You're my son. That's it. You just remember that you are my son. And I'm like,
Wow.
well, okay, okay. So yeah.
So tell us something about your relationship with your mom. Something little, something small, like what you cherish most and what she likes most about you. Does she really think that you are as big as you are for the
No,
world?
no, that'll never happen. Come on, I mean, Ruby, you're a mom yourself, right? I mean, I think it's not just with a mom. Even though
Mhm.
I grew up without a dad, right? But I've got kids of my own, and I think
Yeah,
your perspective changes when you've got children. In my opinion,
true.
it just completely changes. Like if someone asks me, what my motivation was. Like my eldest is 7 years old, so if someone asked me what my motivation was even 10 years ago, even 8 years ago, for example,
Hmm.
I would say my biggest motivator in my life was money. No, not anymore. If someone asks me what's my motivation, what's my drive, why do I do what I do? It's for my kids. Simple as that. And they
True.
are my biggest motivator. And I think your children will always remain your children, regardless of
True.
how old you get, or how old they get rather. They will
Hmm.
always be your kids. So yeah, I mean, even today, like I'll give you an example. It is hilarious. So I went back to India just prior to COVID. So I was in India for Christmas after a long time. So um, I went back to India for Christmas after 11 years, or during
Wow.
Christmas rather. I mean, I go back to India every year, but I
Hmm.
wasn't able to actually be in India during the Christmas period. And Ruby, I mean, the Christmas period, or rather, every single religious festival in India is celebrated by the entire community, and that's the beautiful
True.
thing about India, in my opinion. It's
Hmm.
just like people come together regardless of religion, and you just are together with whatever they're doing. So it is an awesome experience, and so I went to a friend's house party, a childhood school friend's house party on the 24th night, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And my mom's there calling me at 11:30. When are you coming home? I'm like, I'm like, Mom, do I still have a curfew? So I mean, like, so and she's like, no, no, just no, it's okay. I know you'll be coming after midnight, but just drive safe, okay? Just drive
Wow.
safe. And so I mean, see, these are little things which it may feel right at that spur of that moment to be like, she's crazy, or what the hell, or and stuff along those lines. But these are little things when you think back.
Hmm.
uh, they are irreplaceable. The love
Hmm.
that your parents give you is irreplaceable, and that is something which you should cherish, and that's something which I absolutely cherish. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, I always call my mom Ma Poo, Mapoo, and she calls me Mini Poo. So
Okay.
I mean, that is just it's a little strange thing, but we've always called each other that. But yeah, it's been awesome, and she's been an educator throughout her life.
Hmm.
So I've obviously she was an English teacher in school, so
Hmm.
and then she was a principal. for another 8-9 years of her career prior
Mm-hmm.
to her joining politics. So she's a politician at the moment. So she does a lot of humanitarian stuff all the
Mm-hmm.
time. Really worried about her at the moment because obviously I'm in Singapore, she's in India, all borders are closed, and
Yeah.
knowing my mum, every couple of days she's like, I'm going out to my ward or to my area, just to make sure that they are the people are being fed properly or stuff along those lines, right? And I'm like, Mom, just stay home. Like, it's two ways. And like day before yesterday, I had a little bit of a cold, and while I was talking to her on the phone, she's like, why are you
Mm-hmm.
sounding nasally? And I'm like, I don't know, Mom, I just had I've got a bit of a cold. And she's like, are you sure it's not COVID? So
Oh my
little
God.
things like this. I mean, so I'm always like her. I will always remain her little kid, quite
True.
literally.
True.
And that's the most beautiful part of a parent-child relationship, in my opinion. So yeah.
Very true, very true. Very rightly said. I'm going through the same phase right now. I'm here and my
Hmm.
parents are in India, so we are
Yeah.
facing the same thing. But yes, as children, we always have that corner for our parents, and as parents, they always have that buzz. What is happening there? Is he okay? Did he eat and stuff like
Precisely.
that?
Yeah.
Very true. So tell me one thing.
Hmm.
What is your actual mission of life? As you just said in your, while talking that it's not something that I'm monetizing LinkedIn. So what
Hmm.
exactly is your mission of life? Why are you there? What is making people follow you like crazy on LinkedIn?
I think I'm just being honest and authentic. I know, I mean, honesty and authenticity, they're buzzwords which are overused, etc. But I mean, the how do I put it? Like, I have this bad habit, or I should say good habit, but bad habit sometimes because some people take it in the wrong way. But
Hmm.
whenever I connect with someone, I always send them a message and say, hey, listen, we should catch up on a call, just to get to
Hmm.
know each other.
True.
And a lot of people are like, oh, what is this? Why is this guy? I don't even know him. I'm like, exactly. This is a social networking or a professional networking site. We should get to know each other, and I love getting to meet new people, and
Hmm.
that's a very important element. So I mean, what I ideally would focus on is basically just trying to make a difference. Trust me, I'm in a bit of a stage of metamorphosis at the moment. There are a lot of things happening in the background, which are not being made public yet, especially
Hmm.
on LinkedIn. But you all will know, soon enough, soon enough. And yeah, I'm looking at a new phase in my life. Let's put it that way,
Hmm.
coming up, which I'm really excited about, actually. And with regards to what makes me tick, and what I'm looking forward to, and the value and stuff, I'm just trying to be myself. That's it.
Uh-huh.
I've been on LinkedIn for less than 2 years now.
Hmm.
No, just over 2 years actually. August 2018 was when I joined. We were in September, so yeah. So it's been an amazing experience, and yeah, that's the main thing. And I think the best um, compliment that I've ever received, and I've received it on multiple occasions, is like when I've met someone face to face, or just on a Zoom call or a Zoom chat like this, or
Hmm.
having a webcam based conversation. They're like,
Hmm.
you're exactly the same as you are online. I'm like, well, what did you expect? That's how you should be, right? You should be the same in real life and in real life. That
True.
should be the
True.
same. That's what
Hmm.
integrity is about. That's what authenticity is. So yeah, I try and live by that as much as possible.
That's very good. That's really nice because it's very true. Sometimes when we are online or when we are talking to people virtually, just by writing, not showing the face, people have a
Hmm.
different impression because they see their display picture. Sometimes it's very different from how they actually are. So that's being
Yeah.
authentic, because
Hmm.
when people are telling you you are exactly the same, that means, yes, you are being authentic. There's nothing that you are hiding or there's nothing that you are trying to keep away
Hmm.
from the masses.
Hmm.
Um, Tell me one thing.
Hmm.
On LinkedIn, you feel and you meet lots and lots of people, loads and loads of people write to you. They want to connect with you. So,
Hmm.
what is your way of screening the people? Like lots of people who just say, I want you to be on my chat. I want you to be on my show. So,
Yeah.
how would you tell people or, give an idea to people that should they accept anything or everything, or should they decide about it?
See, that's an interesting question, right? That's a very interesting question because there comes a moment when you can't do everything that you want
Mm-hmm.
to ideally do.
Mm-hmm.
because there's only 24 hours in the day, and I don't use a VA, right? All that everyone sees me doing on LinkedIn is just myself.
Mm-hmm.
I stay awake till almost 2 a.m. in the morning every single day, and I've done that for the last 2 years running. Not
Mm-hmm.
one day has been missed. So because I like to engage with people, I like to I don't know, it's like a bit of an OCD element that I can't go to sleep before I get rid of my notifications, quite literally. So
Oh my God.
uh, it can be really, really annoying sometimes, but I'm not talking about that. I mean, I love LinkedIn, trust me. I love being tagged by people. When people say that some people don't like being tagged and stuff, and I've been called out by almost a year and a half ago when I tagged someone on one of my posts and be like, don't tag me without my permission. I was, I'm sorry, but in my opinion, if someone tags me, it's a humbling. You feel honored because
Mm-hmm.
they've remembered you, right? Out of 10,000 people they might be connected to, they remembered
Mm-hmm.
you and they tagged you, and you need to appreciate that, and that is something which I really like. But with regards to screening people, with regards to new connections, I have had to become really, really picky on who I
Mm-hmm.
connect with as a first connection. It's because I don't have many spots left, if that makes sense, uh,
Mm-hmm.
anymore, and I've had to be very picky. I will, on most occasions, I will not even choose to look at a connection request if it is not personalized. That's number one. And number two, I will definitely, under no circumstance, connect with someone who has got anything to do with forex or Bitcoin or
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin mining or anything along those lines on their profile. I just
Mm-hmm.
won't. I don't care whether they have 100,000 followers or not. I just don't do it. Sorry, no. Those are a couple of ways I sort of screen with regards to appearing on someone's show and stuff. I try and not say no ever,
Mm-hmm.
because it's. I mean, I can always find time, half an hour during a
Mm-hmm.
24-hour period, to be able to go and provide some kind of value. Like, someone in their network may not be connected to me, may not be following me, and maybe something that I say could resonate with that person, right? And
Mm-hmm.
whatever and that little thing that I say can actually make a world of difference without me even understanding it. And
Mm-hmm.
so I try not to say no. I'm very, very. I try and make sure that I try and at least see that they are, if they've got a podcast or a video blog, anything along those lines. I try to make sure that they've actually been doing it for a little while. That's the main
Mm-hmm.
thing, because there are a lot of scams going on, which I've heard recently. Like, people get people on screen and then they morph their face or whatever along
Yeah.
those lines. So you have to be careful. You have to be careful, especially in today's world,
True.
where cyber security is a huge concern, right? So you can
Mm-hmm.
never be too safe. But yeah, I mean, with regards to screening and stuff, I mean, most of the people who've got podcasts and stuff, we know of them. I mean, people know. I mean, people who do podcasts, who appear on
True.
podcasts, they would have definitely heard of them, or they would have
Mm-hmm.
seen stuff coming up, because there's a very small amount of people who actually share content on LinkedIn. Simple as
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's like less than 1%. So if you're doing something, you will stand out for sure.
Hey, hi Rahila. Rahila is there.
Oh, hey,
Oh, nice to see you. So yes, it's very true what you said. Like, we have to be very, cautious whom we are connecting with, because it's
yeah,
very difficult to say no. I agree. I am also going through that a lot at times, and sometimes, like, if people are asking you, we want you to do this show, we want you to be here. Fine, it's great,
mhm,
but then there has to be what do you call, a limit to something. Like, should we say yes, should we say not? And that's very good when you said that I have set a limit to myself. I'm not accepting anything coming from profiles having Bitcoin and things like that.
yeah,
So
I'm just
yes,
not. Yeah,
very true. Like, I think that's a
mm,
good message already. Point number one to our viewers, that they should
mhm,
have some pointers, just as Joseph you mentioned. They should also
mhm,
have some set standards, what they want to accept and what they don't want to, because then that could be like, how they need to go ahead. Um, I'm just curious to know, when
yeah.
actually you started buzzing, like you started, like, resonating with people, like, we want to know about your success story, how it all started, where you started coming it, like, it's coming up there. uh, I'm just
I mean,
curious to know.
I mean, in life, I think. See, this is. I think we were just having a very brief discussion prior, before we went on live. Uh, I think I've always been, and okay, so this is something most people I tell this to, they're like, "You're lying. There's no way you are." I'm actually an introvert. I am a huge introvert. Like, there are very few people, I can count them on one palm, right, who know me, quite literally. Very, very few people. There are very few people I let into my inner circle, so to speak. But that's just me. But I like speaking to people. I like, obviously, just conversing with people and networking with people, which is different, which is obviously something I do. I've been in sales and marketing all my life, so it's something that you need to be able to get out in front of people. But the thing which I would say, which has always been, I've always loved being on stage. I've always been a performer, so to speak. So I've always, like, you know done talent contests and debates and stuff. I had my own school band, etc. So I've never been afraid of going on stage, but I always get stage fright. Always. What do I mean by that? Like, um, once I'm on stage, I am in the zone, if you know what I mean. But prior to getting up on stage, my knees are weak. I'm sweating. I'm just, like, downing, bottles and bottles of water, and washing my face, and whatever. So yeah, I do get stage fright. Like, even when I do, like, online interviews, or when I do my podcast. When I used to do my podcast with Joy, Create the Edge, which you were on, Ruby, of course, with Rukia. And then when I'm doing my podcast now with Ash, with on the FBI show, every single time before I hit the live button, I am like, oh, again, okay, this is happening. It it's always there, but once I hit the go live button, and once I see that light at the side of my camera come on, I'm in the
Mhm,
zone, and that is something which is it's something which has taken time to obviously
mhm,
hone, because you have to, it's a mindset thing, right? You've got to be able to sort of focus on
mhm.
what is at hand, and that is absolutely essential. So yeah, that's basically it. I always try and provide value in some way,
Mhm, mhm.
and I guess that has been something which people resonate with. So
And when did
yeah.
you feel that, yeah, people are, I am somebody, or people are wanting to talk to me, or you created that wow effect? I remember when I came on your show, I was like, wow, I had been seeing this
You're
person
very kind.
on LinkedIn
Yeah,
because we had some common friends. So I had seen your
that's right.
shows whenever you were live,
Hmm.
because I think you were the first
Hmm.
ones in my circle of people that I know who used to do LinkedIn live streaming. I had never seen that before.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
you were one
See,
of
I mean,
those.
this was uh well, see, this was very interesting, and it's an just brought up, like, hey Rohit, thanks for joining in. Hey Rashmi, lovely to have you on the show. So basically what happened was, like, and this was very humbling, very, very humbling. So I started my LinkedIn journey, per se, in August 2018, and I was
Mhm,
approved for LinkedIn Live as a beta tester broadcaster in March
mhm,
2019. So in 8 months, 7 months of me being on LinkedIn, quite literally. And the first couple of months were like, nothing. I didn't do anything. I was just trying to follow people and see what they were doing, etc. And then I started basically bringing out my own personality. And then I obviously
mhm,
started doing my videos, etc., which are based on, like, sales and marketing and tips, etc., blah blah blah. And then we obviously, Joy and I, started doing the Create the Edge, which we used to obviously film at that time
mhm,
on Zoom, and then started out. So that created that video persona element. So I think one of the main moments on LinkedIn, when I felt that oh, okay, maybe what I'm doing is actually resonating with people. It was when I was approved as a LinkedIn live broadcaster. Honestly, that came to me as a shock. I was like,
Hmm.
me? I have 3,000 followers. Why are you putting me in as a LinkedIn live broadcaster, right? And I had 3,000 followers in March 2019.
Hmm.
So see, this is something which a lot of people, especially on LinkedIn, who've been following me, I mean, they've asked me as to, like, how have you grown so rapidly? So if you consider, in March 2019, I've got about 3 to 4,000 followers, and in today, September 2020, I've got 217,000 followers. So I
Hmm.
mean, it's all about consistency. It's all about trying to provide value, and
Hmm.
it's all about being humble and giving and engaging. you know and you have to consistently give. You've got to consistently engage. And so the word consistency is absolutely essential to anything in life, not just on LinkedIn, anything in
True,
life, right?
true.
Whether it's in your personal relationships, whether it's in your professional relationships, you have to be consistent in what you're doing.
Hmm. Hmm.
Otherwise, you're just losing the essence of your own character.
Very true, very true. Very rightfully said. It's very important to be consistent. And at the same
Mhm.
time, as you said, you had such few followers, but still when you got that, that you
Yeah,
can go live, you were like, is it really happening? So it's really a big
exactly.
feeling. It's really a big feeling, and you feel
It
like
is.
valued. I have been given this opportunity, let me do something about it. So we have
Hmm.
an interesting question from Rashmi Verma.
Yeah.
How do you deal with anxiety attack?
Oh, how to deal with an anxiety attack? Uh, Unexpected incident just before stage appearance. Hmm.
So this is
That's an
something that
interesting.
you're not prepared. It just happened, basically. That's
Yeah,
that's what
I mean,
Rashmi is trying to say.
okay. So I mean, unexpected incident. There has been only one situation which comes to mind, where basically before I was about to do something which was in front of the public, so to
Mm-hmm.
speak, um, where I received some really bad news of a death in the family right
Oh.
before, like 5 minutes before.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, and that was something which really rattled me. But you have to keep your focus. That's where your professionalism comes in,
Mm-hmm.
and you just have to persevere. You have to just keep doing what you're doing. You have got to shut yourself out. You've
Mm-hmm.
got to shut out those pain receptors, those emotional receptors at the back of your mind. That's
Mm-hmm.
very, very important. But apart from that, I think it's good. It's good to. I've not had like an anxiety attack, but I've
Mm-hmm.
always been like, sometimes, stage fright, as I mentioned prior, Ruby.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, to battle combat stage fright, what I normally do is I start talking to people around me. That's it,
I think
about
that's
anything
really
and
that's really
everything.
great. Yeah, I think that's really to just loosen up
Yeah,
a little bit.
just talk to people. Just watch something on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to music. That is something which I do. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big believer in music therapy or music meditation. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I don't listen to, like, trance tracks and go off into like a hallowed state. No, 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 no,
Mm-hmm.
not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge hard rock, heavy metal fan. I love my classic rock. I love my Nirvana and Pink Floyd and Guns N' Roses and Metallica and everyone in that genre.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I'm feeling a little bit of anxiety, or I'm down in any way, I love going for long walks,
Mm-hmm.
and I just love listening to music. I just put on my Spotify playlist, and prior to that, it was obviously the Sony Walkman. But after Spotify came, it was a bit easier to carry around, wasn't it? But
Yeah.
yeah, music's a great way. I love immersing myself into music to get myself away from situations which may not be in the best way for me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's really a very good piece of advice. We have another question coming from Rohit. Is
Mhm.
live a great tool to reach out to more of your target audience?
See, that is a very, very interesting question.
Mm-hmm.
And Rohit, I would say, in my opinion, and this is something which has been shared by other LinkedIn Live broadcasters as well, like C.A.R.E and a lot of others, right? I'm talking about Corey
Mm-hmm.
Warfield. Every single time, even today, when I go live, I lose followers. every single
Mm-hmm.
time.
Mm-hmm.
We all feel it's a glitch on the LinkedIn system,
Mm-hmm.
but we actually do lose followers. And the other thing, which and this is something which we at every single moment, because each and every live broadcaster was actually contacted uh, towards the end of last year to get some feedback and how they could
Mm-hmm.
make LinkedIn Live better. And a lot of us have actually discussed it with LinkedIn headquarters. And there's one thing which is like, if you would notice, like the normal outreach of your live broadcast is
Mm-hmm.
very low compared to your normal post outreach. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, in my opinion, Rohit, to answer your question, your outreach, total outreach, is definitely way less than your normal post outreach would be, or a normal shorter video. But you have to also remember that a live broadcast is a long format video in general,
Mm-hmm.
more than
Mm-hmm.
15-20 minutes, maybe even half an hour, even over an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to keep that in mind. That's number one. But number two, what I have noticed, Rohit, is like the percentage of reactions that I get, reactions or comments that I get from
Mm-hmm.
seconds and thirds, are actually interestingly much higher during my live broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a lot of more people have started engaging with me in my normal posts, who I remember having first gotten to see my content from one of my live broadcasts. So maybe it does go out to the outer reaches of your audience, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And the main thing about the live broadcast as well, a lot of people don't actually go through their notifications. So if you're not actually online at that time on your app or on the phone, on your browser, you will not get notified of someone going live. Simple as that. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So your maybe when you're going live, your main target audience, or people who normally react to your follower base, the majority of your follower base may not be online, right?
True.
And they might not be looking at the notification. Not a lot of people look at their notifications on LinkedIn. Trust me, they
Mm-hmm.
don't. So and it's something which even people who are very active on LinkedIn don't. They just stick to their own posts, or just messages and stuff. So yeah, I think it's a very interesting question actually, Rohit. But in my opinion, I would say outreach on the whole, it doesn't make much of a difference if you've got live. In my opinion, it's just like a little feather in your cap, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you
Mm-hmm.
an opportunity to sort of present a more of a conversational dialogue during that broadcast with some viewers who are tuned in at that time. And also it's a new concept. It's still like I think maybe less than 2,000 people around the world have LinkedIn Live at this present moment. So it's still a very niche group. So yeah, I guess it feels good to be a LinkedIn Live broadcaster, of course, but they really need to do something about the platform. LinkedIn definitely needs to do something about the platform. It's so hard. I mean, you got to do so many things to go live. You can't just click a button like on Facebook, from what I understand, and just go live. You can't do that. On LinkedIn, you got to go through a third-party software, and then have it merge into LinkedIn, and then you can't see comments sometimes. Now you can, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's interesting, but it's quirky. It's a quirky aspect. It's like having a Lamborghini, right?
Mm-hmm.
People who don't have a Lamborghini, they're going to be jealous of you. Simple as that, and they're going to be like,
True.
"Oh, that guy's got a Lamborghini, right?"
True.
And
True.
and when you have a Lamborghini, you don't take it out every single day, but when you take it out, and take it out for a spin.
Mm-hmm.
And it may not be the best uh, perform the best suited car to every situation, but
Mm-hmm.
performance wise it's brilliant, right? You do anything wrong, it's going to kill you. Simple as that.
Very true. Very true.
It's the same about, in my opinion, like LinkedIn Live. It's a strange analogy, but maybe because I love Lambos, and it's one of my dream cars, of course. But it's an interesting aspect. You sort of love it and hate it at the same time. It's got its quirks, but it's just what it is. You try to take it away from you, and you're going to kill him. You're going to kill
Mm-hmm.
someone. Simple as that.
Very
So
true. Very true.
it's the same thing about LinkedIn Live, I guess. So yeah.
Thank you, Rashmi, for writing such a wonderful comment. Indeed, we are blessed to have him and connecting with Joseph and asking such technical questions as well, which normally we wouldn't have, we wouldn't know all
It's
these
all right.
things.
All good.
So we are happy. Now we have another question again coming from Rohit.
Mhm.
Um, how to position your content as despite great content, people tend to ignore you at times. What should be the approach?
Well, that is excellent. That's an excellent question because I've seen so
Mhm.
many people out on LinkedIn who have really good, thought-provoking content who don't get any engagement on their
Very true.
posts.
Hmm, hmm.
But then, I go to their profile and I see their activity. They don't do anything. They don't engage on other people's posts. Reciprocity.
Hmm,
The
hmm.
law of reciprocity is so true, especially on LinkedIn. Not sure about other platforms, not sure
True.
about other social media platforms, but the law of reciprocity on LinkedIn holds very, very true. You
Hmm,
go out there and engage with people, and people will engage back with you. That's how
hmm,
the
hmm.
algorithm works, in my opinion. I mean, a lot of people try to game the algorithm in many ways, but
Hmm,
the best way to actually get the algorithm to work for you is actually to actually provide it something in return as well. That's what
hmm.
you got to do. So to get your content out there, don't just take a helicopter approach. Don't just drop your post and just hover away. No, engage with your post, engage with people who are commenting on your post, go back to their posts, go to their
Hmm,
profiles, go to their post, engage on their post, stick to your newsfeed. Do that
hmm.
with consistency, and over a period of time you will see a 100%, you will see that you are getting a lot more outreach on your posts than you used to without having engaged with others.
Yeah, very true. I think I agree with you because, as you said, people who don't get, consistent engagements in their posts, they feel a little bit demotivated at times. Oh, my
Yeah,
content was so good, yet no one answered, yet no one commented on it. But then they need to think, even they need to do it. And very rightly said, reciprocity.
precisely.
Like if you don't reciprocate, how do you expect the other person is going to do that for you? So I guess,
Exactly.
I now I think that could be one of the reasons, Joseph, because you take time to make sure that you are answering the questions, you are reaching out to the people and making sure whoever asks you any question, you get back to them. So that could also be one of the reasons that you're so popular and people just follow
Thank
you
you.
because you take time. It's like when you're giving time to something, you are valuing people, whether
Mhm.
it's your followers or anyone, they feel
Exactly.
valued and then they come back to you. Okay, we have
Spot
another
on.
one. Hi,
Mhm.
Alina.
Hey, Alina.
Wonderful
Hi,
again.
Andrea. Yes.
Hi, Andrea. So nice to see all the LinkedIn family coming here on YouTube. Most of the people that I know on LinkedIn, they are all here. And I think it's all because of our family, the small family that we have
Yeah.
created on LinkedIn. We are here.
Hmm.
So yes, it's amazing, all the things that you're telling. We need to pay attention to these small things. These are very simple things which I think everyone knows, yet people don't follow. Yet people,
Yeah.
they find their own ways of going in different directions and not taking care of them. um,
Hmm.
how are you dealing with what is happening right now due to pandemic? Did it have an impact in your reaching out to the audience, or did it have an impact on your live shows or something, or not really?
No, I mean, see, I think in my opinion, especially if you with some of my content which I do
Hmm,
with the live shows that I do with Ash at the moment, or any of the previous ones with Create the Edge with Joy, they've always been an online element, right? And
hmm,
I think with the pandemic, people are more at home, and it's easier to actually schedule time with them
hmm,
because they're not at work. They can just take a little bit of time off, perhaps during the day, which otherwise they might not have been able to, and have a conversation. I
hmm,
think
hmm,
the world has actually become even smaller, so to speak, through technology, especially during this time,
hmm,
because people just have more time on their hands, and they're basically sitting in front of their laptops all day. In an environment which gives them a lot more, uh, you know, um, freedom, so to speak,
hmm,
and
hmm,
that's the main element. So it has, I mean, has the pandemic hampered stuff in my professional life? Absolutely it has. Like
hmm,
my professional job, obviously, which is an investment advisor, it has definitely been affected because people are very, very hesitant to sort of invest in any kind of investments at the moment. They want to
Mm-hmm.
keep cash on hand and stuff. So I think the investment industry, the finance industry, and banking industry is going to be the worst hit, apart from
Mm-hmm.
obviously the travel industry
True.
and hospitality. But
Mm-hmm.
I think investments are going to be a bit, they're going to be hit for a little while, till there's a little bit more. People are just more cautious
Mm-hmm.
about things at the moment. So I mean, and everyone around the world, whichever industry they are in, or they have been in, or they pivoted in the interim or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
everyone's facing it. Everyone's gone through hard times. You just have to
True.
accept it, and you just have to go
Mm-hmm.
through it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not something that it's just at the click of the button you can just change things overnight. It'll take
True.
time. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
as long as you're true to yourself and you're actually giving more than you are receiving, that's the main thing. Yeah, and yeah, I was about to actually ask you to bring Andrea's comment on.
Mm-hmm.
Happens all the time, Andrea, and this is something which happens. A lot of people actually start sending you some of your first connections. Start sending you sort of their posts, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And in my opinion, I've noticed this very recently. I've had so many other first connections sending me through their links, and I have some of them I don't even remember because I've obviously connected with them at some point, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember their name. I have to go to their profile and be like, you're actually connected, because I have never seen them on my posts in any,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
not as a comment,
Mm-hmm.
as a like or whatever. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
again, the law of reciprocity. So, I mean, there have been certain people who've actually, I've gone a couple of times, when they've sent me their posts, and, I've made a comment, liked it and commented, etc. And then on the third or the fourth occasion, I've actually told them. I've actually sent them a very, very polite message saying, thank you for sending me through your post link, but I don't see you returning the favor. I've never seen you on my post in any way, putting in your inputs. So, I believe it, and and I say I believe in the law of reciprocity. So, you give and you shall get, but you can't just expect to get all the time without giving. That's a taker. And
True.
those are people who I I sincerely dislike, takers, because
Mm-hmm.
all
Mm-hmm.
it's like they just know how to take, and
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
they act like leeches, quite literally. So
Mm-hmm.
there
Mm-hmm.
have been some people who have just consistently just sent me through their posts, and I've disconnected from them.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
but again, I'm saying, Ruby, I mean, and these people who I've disconnected from are people who I've never engaged with. Their
Mm-hmm.
posts don't come on my feed. I've never seen them on my posts. I didn't even sometimes realize that I was connected to them. So
True.
is that a dent in my network in any way? I don't think so. I don't think
No.
so, because
They're not
there is
adding any value. They're not adding any value to you. Yeah, as you
spot
just
on.
said, leech, these are just takers. They're taking what they need from you, but they're not giving anything. So why do you
Hmm.
need to at all connect with such people who are not adding any value to you? As we
Yeah.
always say, like where we see something coming, we want to
Hmm.
be giving as well. Like again, coming back to your
Spot on.
law of reciprocity, when you
Hmm.
give, you give something, you get something in return, and that's how a
Precisely.
relationship goes. But
Precisely.
as you said, when we have people who are just taking and never even saying a thank you, never even saying it's because of giving credit, give credit.
Hmm.
It's fine. If you are sharing, you're a great
Yeah.
influencer. So if you are sharing something, it's okay. People do take from you, but then at the end of it, they should give the credit. Thank
Yeah.
you, Joseph, or thank you, Ruby, or whatever, whoever is there. But if you don't take the credit and you just keep on taking, it's better. You know how to filter them. I think that's a
Absolutely.
better way, using the right word.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, Andrea. All right. So, my next question, and something which I have been meaning to ask since we met at another platform. First, it was at your platform that I met, and then it was at another platform where we met with kids.
Yep. Yep.
So,
Hmm.
how this is one thing, which some of my friends, kids, they asked me, like when they said, "Oh, you're going to talk to him. Could you ask this?" Because they have some activity, so they couldn't come.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I said, "Sure, I will ask." It's on
Mhm.
YouTube, so anyone and everyone can see. But they said, no, we are not available. So can you ask this question? Um,
Sure.
how to get rid of stage fright? How can you be a confident speaker? As you already said,
Mhm.
you might be shaking, but how can you just speak and smile at the same time? They have asked this question to me as well, but now they want
Mhm.
to know through a man because, how do you do it? Like, how do you camouflage what is going inside? Do you ever feel like this or no?
No, well, see, it's a great question in my opinion. I think the best way to basically camouflage or maybe just get rid of stage fright
Mm-hmm,
is focus on topics that you're passionate about. Simple as
mm-hmm,
that,
mm-hmm,
right? Talk on topics that you're passionate about. Talk on topics that you know,
mm-hmm.
in depth, because
True.
then don't feel that you're like a fish out of water, quite literally,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. True.
because you know about it in detail, in depth, and you can talk about it till the cows come home, quite literally.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I mean, focus on things that you're passionate about for sure,
True.
and just and practice, right? That's the best way. Practice in front of a camera. See yourself. Talk to send through your recordings. Ask your close friends and say, hey, listen, I've got a speech coming up. I'd like to
Mm-hmm,
practice on you. Just with regards to how my body posturing is, and my movements and everything are, and I'd like you to give me some honest feedback. And
true.
that's essential. I think just stick to those things. It's practice is essential to make
Mm-hmm,
things work, and just stick to things that you are comfortable with, and stick to things that you're passionate about talking on.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Really true. I mean, when you do something that you're passionate about, automatically everything clicks in the right direction.
Hmm.
On a parting note, it's like
Yeah.
I would love to talk to you all the time because it's
Yeah.
so much value, so much,
Thank you.
beautiful nuggets coming all the way. But still, time is ticking. So, and time is money, and we should respect time. So, what is your message to the people, whether it's children, to the young and adults? What is your message to them, how to deal with this challenging time at the moment? They look forward to your message, they look forward what you want to tell them, to keep calm or whatever.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I think, age old adage, every cloud has a silver lining, right? So my,
Hmm,
my
hmm.
my message is like, what starts has to finish. Good things
True.
come to an end, and bad times come to an end too. And
Hmm,
obviously, this has been a situation which has just literally taken us, it's just absolutely smashed into us right out of left field. Now that's a baseball reference, but it's just you never expected it to come, and it has. But there's nothing you can do about it. You can't. You can either sort of sit in your hole and
hmm,
basically ask people to dump dirt over you and just hope to die, or you can basically just sit it out, and and
hmm.
and, and basically use this time to invest in yourself first.
True,
What do I
true.
mean by that? I think there are so many things that people can do. Someone asked me on another show, another discussion actually, what's the best thing that people should invest in at the moment? I was like, you should invest in yourself, and especially if you are a professional. I'm not talking about if you're a entrepreneur, but if you're a professional, invest into basically making sure that your skills that are required for your particular job set is
Hmm,
actually at par with what the market standards are, and that is very, very important. And the other thing is, like, try and do a couple of other things in related industries uh,
hmm.
alongside your job scope. Why? Because once things are getting back to normal, there will be opportunities coming up. There will be different elements within companies which are adapting to this changing environment and bringing on board a lot of different opportunities moving forward. So for you to actually take those on board, or for your manager or your management to actually trust you to do those things, you need to be able to prove to them that you have actually kept improving and kept inculcating new methodologies into your sphere of influence, so to speak, and basically learning new things to do. So I think self-development is absolutely essential. And I think Andrea asked a question: is it the right time to invest, and in what? So That's a good question, and coming from a financial advisory background, an investment advisory background, I think, in my opinion, I'm a little bit risk averse in general, especially during these times. I would say
Mhm.
look into tangibles. What do I mean by tangibles? I'm talking about gold, for example, which has always been a safe store of value. The other one is property. I think bricks and mortar is always going to be, the best element moving forward, especially when it comes to value. So yeah, Ruby, did we lose you? Oh no.
No, I'm
Okay.
here. I wanted because
Perfect.
that was the global inspirational man giving his,
Oh, you're very kind.
golden nuggets to the world. So I
No,
wanted people to see you at large.
very kind. You're very kind. Very kind. I,
The
I, I thought
stage
we
was
lost
all
you. I mean,
yours.
it's happened. It's happened to me in the past. I've been kicked out of my own live broadcast on LinkedIn. I don't know how it happens, but yeah, it has happened. So I was like, oh goodness, has it happened again now? But
No,
yeah,
no, no. I just gave the stage to you. You were center
you're very
stage. So
kind.
I wanted the spotlight on you so that
Very
people
kind. Thank
see
you.
who the person is, how he's addressing the world. You're not sharing anything, it's just you. So that's really wonderful. Thank you so much for
My
such
pleasure.
wonderful, wonderful sharing, wonderful, some technical things about LinkedIn, which people know, but still they don't have complete details. So it was a pleasure listening from the expert all the way, and also sharing such beautiful memories, how we first met, how we first talked on, your show, thereafter
Yeah.
on different shows.
Hmm.
It's been amazing journey. It's been amazing journey, and sharing, caring, and empowering are the things, which I have seen throughout in most of the situations, especially with you. You're
Thank you
always
very much.
sharing, you're always caring and supporting. Loads and loads of my women friends also. We have lots of friends who are in common circles.
Yes, we do.
So it's
Yeah.
really great. A pleasure having you on with us as our first
Likewise.
global
Likewise.
inspirational man.
I'm humbled. I'm truly honored and humbled. So thank you so much, Ruby, for kicking off this amazing initiative. Of course, it's the yin and the yang. I think men and women, they need to be able to work together. There needs to be a stop to gender biases, right?
Hmm.
Shout out to RBG, who passed away
Hmm.
yesterday, right? But
True.
yeah, I mean, it's essential. So I mean, it's a lovely way for you to bring out stories from the opposite gender, which is
Hmm.
great. So and I'm truly humbled and honored to be on the premiere episode, of this series. So thank you. I'm truly humbled and I'm honored. Thank you.
The pleasure was all mine. And of course, as you said, stories are supposed to be shared. Unless you won't share them, people wouldn't
Hmm.
know. So this
Precisely.
is a great platform, Global Inspirations, where I am trying to share stories, untold stories, or fabulous stories of both men and women, because
Yeah.
we believe in gender equality. And we
Hmm.
want whatever story is something which is worth sharing with the world. People should know. If Joseph can do, I can do as well. If Joseph
Thank you
has
so
done
much.
it,
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I would like to do that as well. So, on that note, thank you so much, and looking forward to share another platform, another wonderful platform with you in the
Absolutely.
future. All the best to you. Take care.
Thank you so much,
Bu-
Ruby. Take care.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.